Hey guys, so we are in World Watercolor Month, hashtag World Watercolor Month, and we are on day 8, and the prompt word today is wing. And when I think of wing, I think of birds, I think of dragonflies, butterflies, so I thought, I went on unsplash.com and found this lovely little dragonfly. So stick around and I'll walk you through the details. Hi, I'm Kelly from Kellie Chasse Fine Art. Welcome to my channel. I'm here to help you explore your inner artist with less perfectionism and more play. So let's get started. So this is my new puppy. Her name is Avalon, and she is so adorable. She's already grown. We've only had her for a week. And so we're on day 8, and this is actually, I think, day 7 she's actually been with us. So it has been a fun challenge trying to paint throughout this and having a new puppy and lack of sleep, but I am doing it. If you have had puppies, you guys have some tips, please leave them below in the comments. We are doing crate training, by the way, and she has been sleeping through the night, sort of. She does get up. She cried a little bit the first night, first 2 nights, but she's getting the hang of that part. But it's during the day. We both work from home, and so that is the challenge. And we've got a little playpen area set up for her. So yeah, if you have some ideas, let us know. So I am doing day 8 of World Watercolor Month, and I have chosen to do a dragonfly for the prompt wing. And you can see I sketched it in here, and I'm using my calligraphy pen. I love to use my calligraphy pen when I'm working with my masking fluid because it just rinses off so easy. I don't have to worry about ruining any of my brushes, and I've got a bunch of different nibs that I could use if I needed to or wanted to. I just tend to keep the same one on here. It seems to be working fine for me. It's a smaller one. So I'm just adding some masking fluid in here where I see some of those really light white areas, and I don't want a lot. I found at the end, though, I wish I had done a little bit more because of the sparkle, but what I actually found out is that I didn't wait long enough, I don't think, for it to dry because I was in a hurry and I was actually doing this live for my Facebook group for my private members. And if you're not a private member yet, if you take a class with me either on Skillshare or Udemy or now on my website, because I have my own website, which I'd love for you to head over there. I give a little bit more freebies and things like that. There's extra lectures and bonuses and stuff in there. And so the membership is either a monthly one or a yearly one. And I'm going to be putting all of these in there for you if you're a member. So you'll have access to all 31 days here once we've finished, and I'll probably have to do a couple extras. So this is from unsplash.com. They have tons of free free pictures, photographs that you can download. Some wonderful photographers that are so kind to be able to upload that for us and use that. And so this one is from, I'm not sure if I'm going to say this right, Envisage Spirit. I think that's how you say it. Thank you so much for allowing us to download your work. I have started out now just adding water around here, and I wanted to do something a little brighter. I started with the yellow, but I thought, I think I'm going to change it up just a little bit. Again, I wanted to make this a fairly quick painting because I am trying to do 31 days. I don't have much time while my puppy's taking a nap, so I'm squeezing this in here really quickly. I have some cerulean blue I'm adding to the outside of that. And where those mix a little bit, you'll get a little bit of that greenish tint anyway. And then I thought, I think I want some darker values in there because you can see, and the one on the left, I've got some yellows, some greens, some ochre colors, all different shades in there. So I thought I would give a third one. So I added a little bit of the cobalt blue, and then I just didn't think that was quite dark enough. So I thought I would add a little bit of purple to it. So once this dries, of course, it's gonna dry a little bit lighter. So let's go ahead and dry this. It would be really pretty if I did salt on this too. I didn't have any salt with me, but I thought about it afterwards. So if you try it, go ahead and throw some salt on there and see what it's going to do. It does some really pretty things. So let me ask you guys, how many of you are actually doing the 31-day challenge? And do you find 31-day challenges a little bit challenging? I do. It's hard to actually do 31 paintings in a row, and you can tend to get a little burnout. It's a tough one to do. When I do my challenges, I like to only do the 7-day challenges, but that's just me because I tend to just have so much, everybody does, right? You have so much going on. But the key to the 31-day challenge is especially if you're just starting out with watercolor, it's such a great way to really start gaining some skills and building upon them. And they don't have to be all these masterpieces. I was saying that in my last one in my Facebook group. They don't have to be masterpieces. You can just take a little bit of time, and that's why I'm doing these smaller sizes instead of these really huge paintings, just doing some small little squares. This will fit into like a 4x6. And actually, here's a tip for you. I didn't measure this out. Always measure your mats first, or your paper to your mat, because this I found is just a little bit shorter or smaller than my 5x7 mat that I have, which is a 4x6 inside. So if I had squared that off before I taped it up, I would have made sure that that fit perfectly in my mat. And that saves you a lot of money, because now this one would either be cut down, shrunk down, or it would have to be double matted, or it would have to have a specialty mat cut for it. So keep that in mind. And I do get all my mats at Golden State Art, and you can get them on Amazon. I'll leave you guys a link down below. They have great little mat kits, and they have all different sizes. They have the backings with the plastic sleeves if you're going to sell your work too, or if you just want to store it in there, which is really good to do because it keeps it nice and safe. And if you've been following me a while now, you know that I have a very small space, and I actually work upstairs in my bedroom. It's not like a big fancy big production place. I don't have my own studio. So you can do this in a really small space. And usually what I'll do is I have these little plastic tubs, and I'll store my art in there. And that way I don't have to worry about any water damage or moisture or anything like that. But where I keep it anyway, I keep it upstairs. It's pretty dry. But for those of you that are in areas that, watercolor paper will absorb that moisture, keeping it in a nice little airtight tub is a great thing. And I'll see if I can find that link for you guys for those as well. And I'll put that down there for you in case you want to pick up some of those. All right, so I am using my Zen Art brush here. This is the number 12 rigger brush. Nice and long. And Zen Art actually I'm excited because they're sending me some really small micro brushes, like really tiny ones. This one is great, but it's because it's a long rigger, it's a little bit more challenging if I'm trying to do some of this fine detail work. So I'm excited about trying those, and hopefully they're coming in before Watercolor Month ends, because they're actually one of the sponsors this year for Watercolor Month. Really nice of them to send me these. There's a kit of 5 brushes that I have now that I've been working on for probably a couple of months now. I've actually even used these with my alcohol ink paintings too, and they've been holding up really well. Now I'm going to use a black Sharpie just to do some of those little fine details, the little legs, and Sharpies are wonderful to use. They're so easy to manage. Micron pens, especially with some of the small detail work. You obviously could use a really small brush to be able to do this as well, but when you're brand new to watercolor, sometimes it's really hard to get those really fine lines in there. And of course, those tiny brushes don't hold a lot of watercolor paint either. So Sharpies are fine. Again, it's more of a mixed media, but it's all preference based. You could also use a little color pencil in there with that too, or watercolor pencil. So I have decided I'm going to add a little highlight here. I'm going to pull off the masking fluid, but I didn't get much or enough of it. I think it was, like I said, I think it was still a little wet when I did it. I was doing this live and it was impromptu. I hadn't done this one before, so this is, and when I show you the live video, you can see me walking through my process and my thought process while I'm doing this, which is always really fun when I'm doing the lives, because that's what real life's all about. I'm just a person, I just like to paint, and I don't always have a clear idea of how I'm going to do things. As a matter of fact, for a lot of my classes, when I do the watercolor painting, I do it a couple of times, sometimes try to work it out to see how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to teach it. But this one as a live is really fun. So I'm just scribbling in, and I actually have an alcohol ink class that is done with dragonflies, and I do the little squiggly lines and things in the wings like this, very similar. But this dragonfly is a little bit more detailed than the alcohol inks. Alcohol inks are super fun to do. So if you haven't tried alcohol ink, I'll leave the link down below for some alcohol ink classes if you want to check those out. Now I'm adding just a little bit of white gouache. I didn't feel like I got enough of the masking fluid in there. I'm going to wipe up around the edges of that because I'm just trying to give it a little sparkle where the light's hitting on the dragonfly itself. I don't want it around the background of it. And then I'm thinking about just, I guess, tracing that little area in. Didn't have to do that. Almost like it better without it, I think. And then we'll go ahead and put that other little branch in there as well. Now when I put this on top of it, it did mute the black ink a little bit to the pen mark. So I'm going to dry it afterward and go ahead and just retrace those areas on there a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Make sure to click that like button and share it. That helps me grow my channel. We are almost up to 16,000. Thank you so much. My next goal is the 20K mark, and I'm going to be doing another giveaway. So share it and tell your friends if they like crafty things, they like to paint. Share the video with them, bring them along, and let's see what their dragonflies look like too. You can also tag me on social media. My links are down below in the description box, Instagram or Facebook, and I love to share them with the rest of my followers. So have a great week. I am going to work on tomorrow's painting, I think, soon, so I could get it maybe while the puppy is sleeping again for her seat for the evening nap. Everything works around the puppy. My life has changed. Oh my goodness. All right, guys, we will see you in the next one, and have a great week. Bye-bye.